thinking we'll start on our back bodies with the hips slightly elevated, so just like a slight fold in a blanket. Okay. So I'm going to invite you to come down onto your back, and so thinking, really consciously about how you're going to get yourself on the floor in a safe way, and then getting the blanket so it's in a comfortable place, not cutting in anywhere. And we'll keep the knees bent at first and place the hands, if you can relax your elbows on the ground, keep your hands someplace comfortable on your body. If the elbows don't reach the ground, just have your arms at your sides. And then just start to focus on the breath. Long, smooth breaths. And noticing as we're here on our backs where the body touches the earth, and settling in, allowing your body to soften, your mind to soften, connecting the breath in the body. And then after you notice how you feel, thinking about how you want to feel when we're done with practice and setting your intention. I want to start with just focusing on arm movement. So relax your arms down to your side. We're going to inhale one arm up and turn the head away. Exhale, head back to center, arm comes down. And we'll alternate sides. Inhale, arm up, head turns. Exhale, arm down, head comes back to center. Alternating the sides. And so you have this touch point of your back, the back of your head on the floor. And you're just noticing how it feels to lift the arm. And if it doesn't feel good to take it all the way overhead, it's okay if it stays up in the air. But you're just noticing how your head turns and how the shoulder feels, as you're moving in. So next time you finish your second side, we're going to pause for a moment, and I want you to pull your mat up so that your feet are on the floor so that they can slide better. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take the right arm up in line with the ear, if it goes there for you. It might be a little bit out to the side. And you're going to have your right leg stretched out. The left knee is still bent. And we're going to inhale as you slide. So you're sliding the hand and the heel over to the left. Inhale as you slide. Exhale when you come back to neutral. And again, we're looking for that information. Since we decided we were going to work on hips and shoulders, this is a nice way to start to get information about what's going on in those specific parts of the body. And you're only sliding to a place that feels good. So you're sliding to the left and then back to neutral. So you're headed towards the bent knee. And we're going to do it one more time. And when you come back to the center, we'll pause, bring that arm in line with your body and bend that knee. And then we'll stretch out the left arm and leg. And again, connect with breath, and then inhale, slide to the right, exhale back to neutral. So you're heading towards the bent knee, and then back to neutral. Other way, Gene S. Yes. So walk your other foot out so it doesn't come down, yeah. And you're just kind of noticing, what happens in your shoulder and your hip and your rib cage as you're moving like this. How does your breath feel? I'm going to do one more time. And then when you come back to neutral, we're going to bring that arm down as well as your feet. And you can fix your mat or not. We're going to have our feet about hip width apart. And so your pelvis is on the ground. And then with your breath, you're gonna inhale, tilt your pubic bone up, exhale, tilt it down. So you're not lifting your pelvis off the floor, you're just tilting through the pelvis and noticing how it feels. Up and down, not side to side. Moving with the breath. And then we're going to take the feet out a little bit. So next time after you exhale and relax the pelvis, we're gonna walk the feet as wide as your mat or a little bit wider. And then one knee at a time, you're just gonna drop. So let's start with the left knee, drop it in towards the center. Right knee stays pointing up towards the sky. And bring it back up and then alternate sides. So you're isolating each of the legs as you're moving, bringing it in towards the center. It doesn't matter how far down it comes. You want to go to a place where you're in control of the movement, there's no pain, and alternating side to side. And one more time on each side, so whenever you finish that second side, we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to walk the feet together, so now your ankles and knees, to the best of your ability, are touching. And once more, connecting with your breath before you start moving. And then whenever your next inhale comes, we're going to inhale, arms up overhead, knees out to the side, bottoms of the feet come towards one another. Exhale, arms down, knees together. Just moving with your breath, slowly coming to a place again that feels, there's comfort and ease, no pain. Inhaling, open. Exhaling, close. And like with all of our movements like this, if your arms don't come overhead, you bring them to where they comfortably come to. No forcing. I'm going to do one more time. And so the next time that you exhale and the knees come together, the arms come down, we're going to take that right knee in towards the chest. I just want you to squeeze it in towards your chest and notice how that feels. And we're going to roll through the ankle a couple times in each direction. And when you've done with that, we're going to take the hands and bring them to the back of the leg. And then you're going to slowly press, like you're pressing up the ceiling. Slide your hands up the back of the leg and gently bring that leg towards your body. Right? No forcing again. And then we're going to point and flex the foot. Now, I want you to imagine this. Your foot is flexed and you're going to turn the leg out a little bit. Like you were trying to walk like a duck or a penguin, right? Just turning the leg out. So not just the foot, the whole leg, turn it out and back to neutral. You're just kind of noticing how it feels. And then next time it's back at neutral, we'll bend that knee, place the foot on the floor. Then let's bring the right knee in. And again, you're squeezing it in towards your body, noticing how it feels, and then start to roll through the ankle. A few times in each direction. Eventually coming to a place where we pause, slide the hands onto the back of the leg, stretch the leg up slowly like you're pushing up the ceiling, and then slide your hands up your leg as you're bringing it towards your body. Once you get to a comfortable place, we'll point and flex the foot. And then next time your foot is flexed, we're going to turn the whole leg out and then back to neutral. Right? The whole leg just turning out, coming back to neutral. It's a small movement for most of us. And again, no pain. Just pivoting the whole leg and foot out, coming back to the center. And next next time you're back at the center again. This time we're gonna bend the knee. We're not gonna place it on the ground. We're gonna bring up the right knee to join it. Hands on the front of the thighs. So gentle pressure, hands into thighs, thighs into hands. Inhale when your femurs are perpendicular to the ground. Exhale as you bring those knees towards your chest. Inhale, press away. Exhale in toward the chest. Moving with your breath, knees moving back and forth. Now, next time after your exhale, we're going to release the hands, take one foot down to the side at a time. And we're going to have the feet about hip width apart. We're going to extend the arms out to the sides. Inhale, head and knees to the center. Exhale, head goes one direction, knees go to the other. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, second side. Like with everything that we do, if it doesn't feel good to do one aspect, you just want to move the knees, that's okay, or the head. Just moving with your breath, noticing sensation. And then next time, you finish your second side. You're going to pause in the center and then carefully roll over to the side. Use your hands to help you sit up. And then you're going to find your handy dandy tennis balls. How's that feeling? Too much? Feel good? Feels good. Okay. All right, so you have your tennis balls. Today, I want to start, and we've done this before, but it's been a while. We're going to start at the corner of the hip. So you're going to come down. You might like a little block under your elbow. You're going to come down at a diagonal from the corner of the hip into the center of the glute. And you might make that journey slowly, or it might be a little bit faster. And you want to use your elbow and your feet on the floor to control how much weight goes into that tennis ball, so it's not too much. And you may make the journey to the center of the glute, or, you might not make it that far today. You're just exploring. You also might get to a place where you want to just breathe and allow the weight of your body to settle into the tennis ball. You're going to keep breathing. Again, we don't want this to really, really hurt, right? We're going to take about 15 more seconds on this side. As I always say, knowing we could stay here forever. Just waiting for it to soften. All right, so whenever you're ready, we're going to shift to the second side. Again, same exact thing. Start at the corner of the hip, get yourself set up, and then coming out at a diagonal towards the center of the glute. See if we can have another one. Keep breathing, and you're just taking note of what's happening as you're moving. Softening, continuing to breathe. Now, eventually, again, we're going to come to a place where we stop another 10 or 15 seconds. So whenever you start to feel done, you're going to Sit on up and take the tennis ball out. And I want to do a little of our toe stretching today. So stretch one leg out in front, bring the other leg across. We're going to stretch out the toes. People will say, why do we do this? And it's so that we start to gain more control over our hands and our feet so we can use them more effectively in yoga and in life. Now, eventually, we might lace the fingers in the back of the toes, and if all your fingers don't fit, feel free to leave one out or just hold the outside of your toes. And we're going to move the top part of the foot front to back and side to side. And you might even take that part of your foot in a circular motion a couple times in each direction. You're doing what feels good to you. And then, whenever you start to feel like you're done, we're going to stretch out the fingers, slide your hand out, and then pull your toes towards your body. You're going to make sure that your foot is in line with the lower leg, so you're not sickling the foot, you're not bringing the toes up, but you're keeping them in line. And then we're going to push the toes away. And for a few moments, let's just massage the top part of the foot with the fingers and the bottom part of the foot with the thumbs, going through your whole foot. All those wonderful reflexology points that we're connecting with. Now again, whenever you start to feel done with that, we're going to take that same foot on the floor, roll our fingers or the tennis balls around the outside of your ankles, and then pull up from the ankle into the shin and the calves and the sides of the lower leg. And then around the knee. It's actually very similar to the strokes I do when I oil my body. And then up from the knee towards the hip. And getting all the different surfaces of your upper leg. And when you feel done with that, we'll move to the second leg. Again, starting by stretching out your toes. Maybe lacing your fingers between the toes. And moving side to side, front to back. In a circular motion. Kind of like as you're going through this, like find out what feels good to you and then do that. And then eventually we're going to stretch out the fingers, slide the hand out, pull the toes towards your body, keeping that foot in line with your lower leg, still breathing. Then starting to push the toes away. Whenever you feel done with that, you're going to use the fingers on the top part of the foot and the thumbs on the bottom. All right, so then when you're done, take a comfortable seat for a moment. We're just going to, oh, thank you. This leg. Thanks for the reminder. Around the ankle and up the lower leg. Sometimes I need a little brain support. More and more. Then around the knee. And then up the upper leg. As high as you're comfortable going. That's good because we would have felt lopsided. All right, so from here, we're going to make our way, and you might want a little blanket under your knees, and you also might do this next little part with your back knee off the ground. You're going to kind of choose as we start doing it. You can also do this standing up with your hands hands on a chair or a wall. All right, so finding that place that works for you. So, and some of you might like to have blocks in front. I like to do this often, so I'm used to it. So we're going to start on our hands and our knees, and then step that left foot forward and slide your right knee back. So you're opening the front of that hip flexor. Okay, does that make sense? Jean, bring that foot forward. Or actually, it'd be better if you just bring your blanket underneath back, the other one. It'll give you more space. The other right knee. How's that feel?
It's a big stretch for my quad and my hip flexor.
In a good way?
Yeah.
You don't know.
They're always really tight.
Yeah.
I feel it just with a little bit of movement.
And so I did say, so you could do this with that back knee off the ground with the knees bugging you. It's okay. And just kind of explore what feels good. Now, whenever you're ready, next breath or two, you're gonna straighten out the front leg, bring your blocks back if you're using them. Inhale, body up, exhale towards your leg. And again, some of you might like to stay forward and stay here. Some of you might like to continue to move. You're always doing what feels good to you. So after your next breath, we're gonna bend that leg and bring that knee back, and then step your right foot forward. Bring your blocks back up, slide that left knee back, front knee over the ankle, and just take a few breaths here. The weight is in your knee and your foot. The hands are there for support. There's a little weight there, but most of your weight's in your knee and knee, foot and knee. Taking a few breaths. Again, that possibility to have that back knee off the ground. And whenever you feel ready, you're going to straighten out the front leg, slide your hands back, and then inhale, body up, and exhale towards the leg. And again, some might like to stay closer to the leg and stay there and breathe. Some might like to continue to move. And when you start to feel complete with this, we're going to bend that knee and bring it back in, and then you're going to pivot on your mat so that you're facing towards the windows, those of you in the room. And we're going to take our feet out to the sides and then straighten them out. So your feet are going to be parallel with one another and a wide distance apart. So either toes pointing forward or slightly in, but not toes pointing out. And what we're going to do is you're just going to walk your hands or your block over to one side, let that knee bend over your foot, come through the center and do the second side. And you're going to do that at your own pace. And again, some of you might like to stay there. Gina, take your feet further, a little bit further apart. Just moving side to side. No forcing. Doesn't matter how deeply you bend. Just breathing and moving in a way that feels really good to your body. Now, whenever you do your second side, if you remember which that was, we're going to come through the center. And I want you to pull your legs isometrically towards one another to try to connect with those inner thighs. We're going to have a slight bend in the knees. Then we're going to take the hands up onto the thighs. And on an inhale, come all the way up. If you can turn back towards me. One of these days, I'm going to get the positioning right the first time. Imagine. Okay, so bring your feet together. Face towards the front. How's everybody doing? We're warm yet? Now, once you're up, and of course you could be seated in a chair here too if you don't feel like standing today. Inhale those shoulders up, exhale, slide down your back. Just breathing and moving and noticing how it feels. So from here, let's come towards the front of your mat. Feet about hip width apart. You might have your hands at your heart center. So thumbs resting on your sternum, heels of the hands, thumbs, fingertips touching, so there's like a little space in your palms. I like to imagine as I'm breathing, like energy building up in that space, flowing into my heart center. And then from here today, so a lot of times we do this with our arms. Today I want us to focus on, we're gonna come up onto the toes without using our arms. So if it's uncomfortable having your hands at heart center, you'll have them at the sides. You're just gonna inhale up onto your toes, trying to use the, pinky toe and big toe side of your foot as you're coming up. Inhale is up, exhale is down. If you find yourself a little shaky and your hands are at your heart center, press in towards the center. That will engage your side bodies and help with stability, maybe. All right, now you're going to pause for a moment. We're going to take the weight into the left foot and bring your right leg out to the side. And you're going to turn the toe, you're going to open up your leg a little bit, turn it back to neutral. And if you need to grab onto a chair or a wall, do so. Just pivoting that leg. So as you notice, we're kind of using our legs a little bit differently today. And next time your foot is pointing forward, we're going to bring it down to the ground. And again, find your balance, connect with your breath, weight into the right foot as the left leg comes out. You're holding it out and then starting to pivot your foot and your leg in and out. You're just kind of noticing. All right. Next time you're back at neutral, we're going to bring that foot down. And bringing the hands onto the thighs, we're going to inhale, body up. Just exhale halfway down. It's okay if the knees are bent. Inhale up. Exhale down. And next time you come up. So this next one, you can be in the center of the room. You can hold onto your chair, and I'd like you to put it on the mat so it doesn't slide at all. You could also go to the bar in the back of the room. We're going to cross over at the ankles, right? Hands at the heart center, wherever they help you find your balance. And you're going to slide the foot up above the knee. You're going to try to keep that lifted leg flexed. And then, and I'll show you what I'm talking about so you know. And then you're going to start to sit like you're putting your butt into a chair. Use both hands. Right? Just like you're sitting into a chair. And you're breathing and you're focused. And this pose can go to lots of different places, but this is our focus right now. Just paying attention to what happens in your hips. Making sure there's no pain in the knees or the ankles. And then maybe one more breath on an inhale, come on up. Release your leg and your arms. Shake out your arms and let's just gently swing side to side. Noticing how your body feels as you're moving. And then we're going to do the second side. So you're going to take that right foot, again, start at the ankle, slide up over the knee, the foot's flexed. Possibly hands at your heart center or on your chair. And you're going to carefully sit like you're sitting into a chair. Focused, breathing, looking for a sense of comfort and ease in our body and our breath. And then again, as you start to feel done, uncross, take that foot down, relax your arms, shake out those arms again. We're going to interlace the fingers and roll through your wrists. And then we're going to try something a little bit different. So we'll start with our arms out or your hands on the chair, and you're going to lift up your right knee. And then while you're doing that, I want you to take your fingers and tap them one at a time. Keep breathing. Beautiful. And then you'll stop tapping the fingers, take the foot down onto the ground. Breathe. Sometimes when we put different movements together, we stop focusing on that breath. And then we're going to take up the left knee. Again, just gently tap, thumb to fingers. Keep breathing. Keep focusing. And then we'll carefully place that foot on the ground. Rub those hands together. I like that. Right. Then I want you to interlace your fingers, turn your palms down. And we're going to take the arms up to a comfortable place, just for a couple breaths. Inhale up, exhale back towards the body. Now we're going to add our chair pose with our arms in this position. So with your fingers interlaced, you cannot lift your arms up as high, right? So the inhale, you're going to lift up the arms, exhale, sit down. Inhale. Actually, I like inhales, extending the arms, exhale, standing up. Actually, inhale, standing up, exhale, sitting down. Oh, it took a little while to figure that one out today. And next time you stand up, we're going to release those arms. I want you to find a block. And you can shake out your hands and move your body in any way you need to feel comfortable. Okay. So we're going to hold that block between our hands, kind of press in towards the center. Take it up to shoulder height. And we're going to move the arms from side to side, and you're following the block with your eyes, and you're pressing into the center as you're doing so. Inhale, center, exhale, twist. No rush. When you finish your second side, you're going to pause in the center, and you're going to take that block and place it between your thighs. And it could be the first or the second position. I definitely wouldn't do the third one. And what I want you to do, so your feet are on the ground, you're going to take those big toes down, little toes up, right? And then switch them, little toes down, big toes up. And then little toes down, no, big toes down, little toes up, and then attempt to bring that pinky down, pinky toe. So you have the 3 toes up in the middle, and keep breathing. And then relax and let it go. Now I want you to imagine the block may or may not move, right? But you're going to imagine you're taking your inner thighs and you're trying to press the block and move it back, just using your inner thighs. Does that make sense? So you're kind of pressing like a backwards Pez dispenser, right? For those of you who remember Pez, I actually think they might still have them.
I think they do.
Now we're going to pause for a second. Now you're going to pretend you like that. You're going to attempt to press in and forward with those inner thighs, like you're trying to move the block. Like you're going to push it right out forward. So you're probably wondering, why would we do this? But I want you to notice what's happening in your hips and your low back. we're trying to move the squat, what's happening on the inner thighs, your butt, your back, even in your core as you're squeezing the body. And if you're not sure, just try it a couple times each way and notice what you feel. It's a different way to access the connectors between the torso and the legs. And then, thank goodness we're gonna get rid of that block. I thought, how's everybody doing? A little dizzy? Thought we might just do a little eagle pose. I think it's been a little while, but I can't remember. We're going to take the elbows out. So option, elbows, forearms, palms, lift the elbows up. Another option, right elbow to center, left elbow over top, backs of the hands or palms together. And then again, like you're sitting into a chair, you're going to sit back. And today, let's work with your top arm leg. So whatever arm is on the top, you're going to cross that one over. Right? And you keep the bend in your knees as you're crossing over. This foot can be on the ground, lifted or wrapped around your calf. And breathe and find your focus. And again, looking for comfort and ease in this somewhat interesting position. On an inhale, we're going to let it all go. Come down. Shake it out. And then we are going to do the second side. So again, option, elbows, forearms, palms, or right elbow to center, left elbow over top, backs of the hands, palms together. Still breathing, find your focus. You're gonna sit down, top arm leg, crosses over. Don't lose the bend in your knee. Foot on the ground, lifted or wrapped around your calf. Find that place, keep breathing. On an inhale, whenever you're ready, so you feel the energy building up, building up, building up, and when you're ready to go, inhale up, exhale down, and then shake through your body. And now, we're gonna come all the way down, and I'd like to come through a squat. So you could sit on a chair, you could use a block under your butt, you could put a rolled blanket under your heels. We're gonna come down into a little squat. And we're looking for a level of comfort again, right? A nice roundedness in the back. So if you're in a chair, you're gonna still bring your chin towards your chest and your body forward to get a nice little stretch in your back body. But make sure that you can still breathe fully. And then when you're ready, we are going to make our way all the way down onto the ground. And we're going to come onto our bellies. And so if your bones poke into the ground, you might have a blanket spread out underneath you. I just don't want you to have like a pile of blanket in the middle of your body. If you have the blanket on the ground, you're going to open it up like to that level so that your whole body is on it. Long distance way. Yes. And we're going to come down onto our bellies. And then you're going to stretch out your arms and your legs like you're making a big X with your body. You might be able to relax your face on the ground. You might not, because, we all have those nose things, Now, what I want you to do is come up onto your fingertips and reach your wrists up towards the sky. And then you're going to come up onto your toes and reach your heels towards the sky. So for many of us, that will make our thighs come off of the ground. And then on an exhale, relax. And then I want you to wiggle your right fingers and your left toes. And on the inhale, we're going to lift opposite arm and leg. Your head may come up too. Exhale, come down, and then we're gonna do the opposite side. Inhale, opposite arm and leg up. Exhale towards the ground. And it doesn't matter how high you come up, you're just disconnecting from the ground and lifting. And you're alternating sides, and you're breathing fully. One more time on each side. And then you're gonna pause for a moment. You might even bend your elbows and put your forehead on them so that you can put your face down. And then, one more breath, I think. Then we're gonna take the arms back out again, and we're gonna, on the inhale, lift all our limbs. And your head will probably come up as well. Inhale on up, exhale down. Moving with your breath. Inhale is up, exhale is down. And next time you come down, again, we're gonna pause, and you might, one more time, bend your elbows and relax your forehead. We're gonna walk the feet in so they're about hip width apart. And then carefully lift up your head, and we're gonna walk the elbows in towards the chest. We're making our way towards like a Sphinx pose. And you're gonna see, if you can, soften your shoulders away from your ears. And then gently invite your sternum, your breastbone forward by pulling your hands and your forearms towards your body, softening those shoulder blades down your back. And if I don't make any sense, y'all let me know. So you're softening the shoulders. I want you to relax your jaw and relax your buttocks. And then we're gonna bend both our knees with the feet flexed. And then carefully move your feet side to side. So you're not trying to get them down to the ground, you're just moving a couple of inches side to side. Now, next time your feet go through the middle, we're going to stretch out, or you're gonna come down to the ground. You're gonna see what works for your body. We're gonna take your left arm towards your left ankle, and then bring that heel towards your buttock. And so you could be down on the floor, arm extended, up on your elbow. You're gonna see what feels best for your body. And then the movement is going to be pushing the ankle into your hand and then relaxing that. So you're extending, pressing the ankle into the hand, and then relaxing. And you're either up on your elbow or down on the ground. You're doing what feels best for you today. Now, next time after your next exhale, gently release. Take that leg down, relax that arm, and then we're going to prepare ourselves for the second side. So again, bending the knee, and your hand may not come to the ankle. You could use a strap here, or just have the knee bent. And pulling, pushing and pulling with your ankle and your hand on the second side. And one more time, and as you complete, gently relax that foot. Relax for a moment, forehead on your hands or wherever it's comfortable. But one more thing I want to do here. And so when you're ready, gently lifting the head, walking those elbows back in line with your shoulders or a little bit wider. And then keeping your chin in its neutral position, we're going to inhale, center, and exhale, look over your shoulder. Inhale, center, look over the other shoulder. Next time you finish that second side, you're gonna pause. And we are going to make our way onto our back body very carefully. And take both knees towards your chest. Nice gentle circle with your knees. Whatever feels good in that low back. Now, eventually we'll come to a place where we stop and we're going to stretch out the legs and flex the feet. Hands are going to be on the legs. So this is just like, when we're sitting up, right? Right, so you get that picture. Normally the floor is under the bottom of our legs. We're going to inhale here and exhale. You're going to slide your hands, arms, head, and shoulders up. So the legs are stationary. We're just sliding those hands up and down. So you could do it without your legs being fully extended. You could have a bend in your knees. You can also, if it doesn't work for your head and neck and shoulders, you can remove your legs and not the upper body. It will just use your core in a different way. Moving with your breath, no forcing. And next time you slide down to the ground, one more time, we're going to bend those knees in towards the chest. Now, this is the time where I'll ask you if you're, to check in with your body. Does your body need anything else before you move into Shavasana? So if it does, you're going to go ahead and do that. And if you're ready for Shavasana, you're going to go ahead and set yourself up in some prone position that feels good. Those of you who have chairs, you could put the chair under your lower legs. You can use a bolster under your knees or under your back body. A little gentle roll under your neck. I want you to get yourself as comfortable as you can be. And then as you start to settle in, focusing on those long, smooth breaths, following the natural rhythm of your breath. Taking a moment to check in with your body and your breath as you gently reawaken. Stretching and moving whatever way sounds inviting. And then in your own time, starting to bring yourself to a comfortable seated position. So once you're in that seated position, I want you to take your thumbs and place them at the base of your ox foot, and I want you to do this in a way that you're not stressing out your arms. So the base is where your skull and your neck connect, right? So there's a little ridge there at the bottom of your skull. I just want you to run your thumbs from the inside out towards the ear. So the inside towards the ear, and gentle, like whatever pressure feels best, not too fast, not too slow. So, and you can do this area with the tennis balls laying down too. I like to put 2 tennis balls in a sock and tie it. Sometimes it's nice to do it with your hands. And then you're going to take whichever fingers feel most comfortable and go from that area and go down your neck. Then you're going to take, I like to use my index fingers, but you're going to do whatever feels good. You're going to take them and go around your ears. And there's no wrong way, right? You kind of find what parts feel good and then you do it. And the last one I want to do is, again, I like to use my index fingers, my middle fingers, whatever feels good, where your jaw connects, the little circles. So kind of like mine are like kind of just below my cheekbones, out to the side. So you're going to find that spot that feels good for you. Alright. And then, wiggling your fingers, shaking out your hands, whatever feels good. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, unless you're congested, and then breathe out through your mouth. We all need a little chuckle. And then after those 3 breaths, I just want you to notice how you're feeling, and we will close with our 3 planetary healing sounds. So inhaling those arms up towards the sky, exhaling the sound Q to the heart. Inhaling, arms out, palms forward, exhaling, ah to the heart. So I thank all of you for being here. I thank my teachers. Such a rich pool of amazing people, spirits who guide you